Hello everyone, Republic Jim here, and today I'm just checking out a new tent that I received the other day. And just in case anybody is wondering, I did not actually buy this. It's one that I got free to do a review of. So this is my first impressions. So far all I have done is unzip the bag enough to see that it has the instructions inside. Other than that, I have no idea what I'm getting into. And I should point out that this snow is starting to get soft to the point where I can step down into it. So technically I should stomp down a big enough area to set up the tent, but right now I'm just going to attempt to set it up on top and see how that goes. So this is from the company that Chinese made, of course, and it's kind of an unfortunate name. I think something got lost in the translation there, but it looks a little too similar to an English word that wouldn't be my choice for a company name selling products in the US. But be that as it may, this is supposed to be a two-person, four-season pop-up tent. And I'll tell you right now, it's certainly not a backpacking tent. It's not ultralight. I haven't weighed it to confirm what they say in the description, but they say that it weighs 13 pounds, and I don't have any reason to doubt that. It definitely feels heavier than something I'd want to strap on my pack, not to mention the width of it. But supposedly the ease of setup makes it really nice for doing car camping, or like if I wanted to drag it to a campsite in a sled. So that being said, what I'm planning to do is just set it up out here and leave it standing for several days to test out how it does in the elements. It's a little, well, the wind's kind of died down right now, but it's been gusty all day, and tomorrow's supposed to be even windier, and then the next several days, rain, snow, wind, whatever. So perfect chance to test this out, and I expect some point soon I'll spend a night in it just to see how it works. But enough talking, I'm about ready to open it up and see what I have here. As I mentioned, it has the instructions printed on this deal inside here. They're a little confusing just reading it without having done hands-on, so this first time might be a little bit slow and awkward, and we'll see how it goes on that. This obviously is the outer rain fly. This will be my interior. And I have no idea which one's the front or the back or anything. So, oh, jeez. There's my bag of tent stakes and ropes and such. Okay, nice high-vis paracord there, and yeah, feels fairly sturdy on the stakes, so that's a good sign. Okay, it says firmly secure the legs in place. Oh, good grief. Yeah. offhand. I don't even know where those are. Yes, that's that. Oh, jeez. Yeah. No. Alright. So that is the plug. I recognize this right there. Okay. Well, this has got to be the leg. This is the part I want to get fastened down first. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I can see that that's not going to work real well in the snow there, because those stakes are not hitting anything. Still not. Okay. So this might be a little hopeless trying to anchor that down. So aside from the whole anchoring it, popping it up is pretty simple once I figure out what I'm supposed to do. So that's a positive. And it looks like technically there isn't a front or a back, because the one I have on the back has the same little vestibule floor thing there, which is when the rain flies over the top, that's supposed to be covered up and give a place that's dry to set boots and other things. So yeah, lose my stakes. So as you can see, the inner here is mostly mesh. It does have a mostly nylon top on it. There's a hole in the mesh right there. That's not a good sign right out of the bag. But yeah, inner mesh for ventilation can be used on its own like that. And then I just have to figure this out. Find the zipper. Oh, there we go. There's the zipper. That. And there is another zipper on the back. Yeah. And obviously this would be a lot easier if I was taller. It would not be at all easy for somebody shorter than me. secure it with buckles on these corners. And then obviously I would want to stake this thing out and guy it out there to get some space there in front and get the fly off of the interior mesh. But I will mess around getting it tightened up a little more in just a bit. I'll have to stomp some holes down to where I can actually get stakes driven into the ground instead of the snow. But that's the general idea. Yeah, it has vents that can be opened up here. One on either side, so should be able to have adequate ventilation. And then they say that these snow skirts can be rolled up, and they have little toggles to tie them up to allow air in at the bottom also. But yeah, obviously right now ventilation is not the biggest concern. I see. This little loop here for attaching this hook to hold the floor of the vestibule in place. And with the snow being actually halfway soft, it might be possible to shovel some onto the snow skirt and seal up that edge a little more. Buckles there for to tie back the door. Like it has some toggles in here for holding open the mesh. Yep. Okay, like that. So, wasn't too hard to figure out. As I said, the instructions could be a little more clear, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to grab the camera and give you a little closer look at the inside, what's visible here. Okay, I tied back the other door there too, just to get a little more light inside. As I said, it has the snow skirt all the way around, and these are the toggles for rolling it up and tying it out of the way to get ventilation in there. I have it relatively stretched out without actually getting it staked down. I'll probably use some of my heavy-duty steel auger type ones to actually stake it down in this mess. But here's the other vent. Oops. Sorry about the camera work there. Oh, there it is. So, not great on to be able to hold it open, but it's rigid enough. And of course, if it's really raining or snowing, I would just close it up anyway. Now, anybody that's watched many of my camp out videos knows that I'm more of a tarp shelter type of guy. I just decided to try this out since it popped up on available stuff that I could get for free. So, not entirely sure how much I'll use it, but okay, it has a couple of nice pockets on either side, and of course the mesh, the door on the other side as well. It really is not too big, and I'm going to be getting snow in here, but okay, it's got that is a mesh panel there. It's held in place with toggles, so I can use that to stash stuff up there, or I can move it out of the way, and there's a hook in the center for hanging a light bulb. Anyway, that's kind of my first impressions of it anyway. It's an interesting one. I really think that getting the snow stomped down and staking it out properly will make a world of difference. But tent itself seems okay as long as it's watertight, and I will have a chance to see how that works once I let it sit for a few days in the weather that's coming up. So yeah, that's the Mogest 2-person 4-season pop-up tent, and I'm sure that next time I do it, it'll go a little bit easier now that I have a clue what I'm doing, and I will certainly report back when I do overnight and let you guys know how it works out. So it's Sunday afternoon, and yesterday before it got dark, I did dig out the snow to where I could set the tent on the ground and drive some stakes in, and then I put in my auger type stakes for the guy lines, got it anchored down well, and then covered up the snow skirt around the sides there other than on my door. And the wind was blowing pretty good earlier, and everything's staying put so far. So I'm going to open it up and put some cardboard inside so that I can check in a couple of days and when it's raining and snowing, and make sure that nothing is leaking, or make it real obvious if it is leaking. And I wanted to get some dimensions on this thing, so I'm going to open it up and do that now. So I've put some cardboard down on the floor here, which certainly makes it a little nicer to kneel. And as you can see now, it's staked out to where it's the full size. I use the handy toggles for the net on the top there just to get that out of the way so I could hang light bulb from the center hook. And yeah, I'm not too worried about being able to store stuff in that net up top because I would only be using this as a single person tent. But now that it's stretched out all the way, I wanted to get some actual dimensions, so I'm going to check on that. I can't hold the camera and do that at the same time, so I'll get back as soon as I get some actual measurements. So the actual dimensions from one wall over to the other is about 6'8" across, and then front to back it's about 4'8", and it's roughly 4 feet tall up to the actual usable ceiling, which allows plenty of room to kneel. Not too much for doing much more than that, but that's all right. And this so-called vestibule doesn't amount to much, but it does leave enough room to put boots there and zip up this outer door and have it weatherproof anyway, so not too bad. I'm going to leave this cardboard in here, like I said, just to give it a chance for some foul weather to hit and see how well it stays dry in here. And then sometime by the end of this week at least, I intend to spend a night in here. Not exactly going to be roughing it or anything, it's very close to my house, but I'll just bring out some my little folding cot and set that up and use the cardboard to give some support to the feet so I'm not damaging the floor here, because that does feel relatively thin and lightweight, so don't want to punch any holes through it with the cot, but I'll set that on the cardboard and then throw down my bedding and just have light and a couple of other luxuries, and I should be close enough that I still have usable Wi-Fi, and I'll just do a quick overnight just to check and see how it does when the weather is lousy. So I will be posting that once I do the overnighter and give a little more impressions on the actual usability of this tent. But so far it seems pretty decent. I'm impressed by how it's held up to the wind that we've had here so far, and it'll be interesting to see how it does with rain and snow and everything else. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to close this thing up and get my light out of here and such and call it a day. So this has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.